learned a lot about him in the days since his passing. Just a few days ago at age 54, they said he died of a heart attack in his hot tub. He had posted a picture of himself in that same jacuzzi hot tub overlooking the Hollywood, view, landscape just a week prior, enjoying that exact scene that he would later, we're told, be found dead in front of. His assistant reportedly finding him. They said they did not find drugs around him at the time, prescription or otherwise, though there were prescription drugs in the house for anti-anxiety, anti-depression. But the coroner so far has said the toxicology report will have to wait. I mean, they're going to do a full scan. I raise it because, of course, he was very open about his battle with addiction. And I have a lot of thoughts on this, and I know you do too, Andrew. I'm so sad he's gone. I feel like he found a way through just the nastiest form of addiction there is. It's just addiction is never good and it's never easy to beat. But for some people, it can truly be a monster that is just almost impossible to navigate. And that's how it was for him. He tried so many times to get sober and couldn't. And then finally, he said around 2002, he did manage to get sober with some, falls off the wagon between then and now. So for about the past 20 years. And he's devoted his life since then to trying to help others do the same. Just devoted the entire last 20 plus years to trying to help others find sobriety. And he said that's what he wanted to be remembered for. What do you make of this untimely death?
Very hard to make something out of it. I have to tell you, I'm the opposite of a celebrity person. I'm the guy who's watching, the NFL, and when they cut to Taylor Swift, I'm like, please get back to the football. But last year, for a reason I have no idea why I did this, I just started listening to his autobiography. And I got to admit, I became obsessed with it. Here was a guy who prayed to God as a young man. He said, God, all I want is to be famous. If you make me famous, you can do anything you want to me. I've never seen someone who had every wish come true. But that was this guy. Matthew Perry had every wish come true. He not only became famous, he had the iconic show of his era. He had the top movie while he had the top show, he had the top movie, the whole 9 yards. He had some of the most beautiful Hollywood women as his lovers. Julia Roberts was one of them for a long period of time. Everything, even when he wrote about his addiction, it was the number one bestseller. Everything that he wanted came true. And all the while he was doing this, he was pouring enough poison into his body to kill out hippopotamus. And I'm not blaming him for this. All I will say is that you read this book, you read his memoir, and all you can think is everything that you think about addiction is false. It's not a disease because you can give it up. You can't give up cancer. You can give up addiction. So it's different than a disease. And it's not about, like, you keep thinking, well, maybe if you would find God, but he finds God. He has an actual communion with God, doesn't stop. And when you say he got sober, even that's not entirely true. His body just wears out. He's so sick by the time he's damaged himself so badly that he loses the desire for drugs. What this is, what this demon is, I cannot say. But all I know is I sat there and looked at it and thought maybe it was the original prayer that was wrong. Maybe when you pray for fame, you're just praying for the wrong thing. Maybe to pray to do great work and hope that fame comes with it. I don't know. I don't know the answer. I felt bad for him. I would watch Friends. He always reminded me of one of my little brothers. And so I actually felt some kind of weird connection with the guy. I knew people who worked with him and loved him. He was apparently a very, very lovable person. But the commitment to self-destruction in his life was terrible to behold. It did make me think of demons. It made me think of something that has possessed you beyond your ability to control. Megyn, I don't have an answer to that. I wish I could come up with some kind of pat thing that I could say, but I really feel that something bigger than all of our little pat philosophies was at work in this guy's life. He was almost a parable of self-destruction, and just it's so sad because it wasn't in the purpose of anything. It was obviously just some kind of glitch in his mental system that did this. I really think when you listen to the number of rehab centers he went to, the number of treatments he had, the number of different treatments, it made me feel we know nothing about this. We have nothing to deal with this. There's no way to deal with this except to stop. And all I can say about this.
Do you remember, Andrew, did he write about his childhood? Did he
Yes.
write about what drove him to drink?
Yes, he blamed the divorce of his parents, and that when his mother remarried, she was the press officer for Pierre Trudeau, and she was just working too hard, and he basically felt like an outsider in his own family. It's something that happens to a lot of people. I think divorce is a disaster. I believe divorcing with small children is a moral disaster. Every time I hear somebody say, "Oh, the kids will be fine," I just want to shake them, because the kids are not fine. Your marriage is the planet your children live on. You are blowing up that planet. They will never be fine again. It's a terrible thing to do. And yet other people have survived it without this commitment to self-destruction. And it's just a remarkable story of a guy who had everything, got everything he wanted, except some kind of love that he was missing, some kind of solidity inside himself. And it's very sad. It really is, because, after all, he wasn't hurting anybody. He was just a funny guy, made people laugh. He was a good writer. He was a talented actor. And it's a terrible thing to see. And I felt this way about Seymour Hoffman, who was a great, maybe the best actor of his generation. The image of him pumping heroin into his body until he died. It's a terrible thing. And all you just want to say to people is stay off that stuff. Just don't go near it. I can't tell you how angry people get. Yeah.
Of seeking fame and getting hooked to drugs. It's a very familiar pair. Yep. And it's taken so many great people. Just thinking, like, the number of times my kids say, "What happened to him?" And I say, "Oh, he died of drugs. He died from drugs." Prince, we were just talking about Prince. What happened? He died of drugs. What happened to Michael Jackson? He died of drugs too, really. I mean, it was different kind of propofol being given to him by Dr. Conrad Murray every night to fall asleep, but combo with fame. Matthew Perry, whether he was intoxicated on the night of his death or not, died of drugs. The amount of damage that he had done to his body over the years, that's obvious. Philip Seymour Hoffman, we could keep going all day. And I do think, like, there's probably no coincidence that the people who chase fame have a hole inside of them that is unfillable. And when fame inevitably doesn't succeed in filling it, they turn to something else. And that something else, drugs, is even more pernicious. But chasing fame is not only not to be done, it's a red flag warning sign that something's wrong, I think. That you haven't been taught a certain lesson, you haven't been given a certain goodness. You need to stop and reevaluate and try to fill that up right then and there without one iota of fame. Because, fame does nothing for you. Fame corrupts. Fame is a dark force, if anything. It is not an uplifting, enlightening one. And too many people find that out the hard way. I'm sad for him. I will say, I thought the statement that the other 5 co-stars put out was a good one. It really was a good one. They wrote, "We're all so utterly devastated." They gave this to People on Monday, "by the loss of Matthew. We were more than just castmates. We're a family. There is so much to say, but right now we're going to take a moment to grieve and process this unfathomable loss. In time, we'll say more, and as and when we're able. For now, our thoughts and our love are with Maddie's family, his friends, and everyone who loved him around the world." Signed by all 5 of the co-stars. It's a sad day, and it's a reminder of intervening early with your own children or your own loved ones or yourself, should you find yourself with this struggle. Did you know that poor sleep can cause weight gain, mood issues, poor mental health, and lower productivity? Sleep is the foundation of our mental and physical health and performance in our days. Having a consistent nighttime routine is non-negotiable. Introducing Beam Dream. Love that. Beam Dream. Today, my listeners get a special discount on Beam Dream Powder, their best-selling healthy hot cocoa for sleep with no added sugar. Now available in delicious seasonal flavors like sea salt caramel and white chocolate peppermint. Better sleep has never tasted better. A recent clinical study revealed Dream helped 93% of users wake up feeling more refreshed. Just mix Beam Dream into hot water or milk, stir or froth, and enjoy before bedtime. If you want to try Beam's best-selling Dream Powder, take advantage of their biggest sale of the year and get up to 50% off for a limited time when you go to shopbeam.com/MK. Use code CYBER at checkout. That's shopbeam.com/MK. Use code CYBER for up to 50% off your order. Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.